What's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here. It's a Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Please click the like and subscribe button. If you click the notification button, it'll let you know anytime one of these gets posted. And as I always do, I talk about my concrete inner circle. Shitty day for me on Saturday. Well, I say shitty day because my top three plays all got blown out. Talk about a misread. And, I mean, I had Texas. I had TCU. Oh, what was the other one that I had? Why do I do this? Every time I come on here, like I forget everything. I'm telling you, my brain has been fried. So what did I have? I had, here, I'll just do this quick since I have it in front of me. Oh, yeah, Duke. TCU, Texas, and Duke. No bueno. I liked Coastal Carolina plus the points. They lost by, what were they? They were down 12 and scored a touchdown, so they didn't cover. And then I talked about my two hockey games. I've been just absolutely destroying hockey. I mean, I've been on a tear. It's like, was it one loss in my last 14 or something ridiculous, or two losses in my last 14? Anyway, I swept the board yesterday. I mean, it was 2-0, but I talked about how much I love these plays, and that worked out. I put them in a triple play with a college basketball game. I happened to pick the wrong one because I had BYU, and then I had the over in Grand Canyon, and no, not even close. So the one hit that I had was the under in Oklahoma and Bama. And I got to be honest, I feel lucky. I feel like I should have went 0-5 yesterday. So to go 1-4, I mean, I hit a bunch of other stuff. It's not like, when I say losing day, I always look at my top five. Watch, keep flipping this thing. I look at my top five, and that's kind of what I focus in on, my 5 favorite plays of the day, because almost every day I'm going to have at least 5 games. And then obviously I'm not going to force it if it's not there, but it's a majority of the time, especially this time of year when we have basketball, football, hockey, college, and pro. So yeah, it's just a lot. But all right, with that being said, I had Indiana, no bueno, Penn State over, no good, Notre Dame, BYU hoops, Edmonton, and the Lightning and Panthers to go under. So worked out for me in this spot. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at some of the other stuff that we have for today, for Monday, because as I've said, there's usually only one game I can talk about on Monday. I have written out all my algorithm results for that day. We'll go over that. I'll talk about 3 of the bigger NBA games. I don't have a spread, so I can't talk about how I feel either way, but I do think there are 3 interesting matchups to take a look at, whether that's for daily fantasy or for NBA games that I think could be fun games to watch. All right, just put it that way. And then you'll see, I guess, tomorrow when the games come out. I'm on the morning show, so you'll be able to listen then if whatever I'm on. But I do come back in the morning and post the results of my algorithm, so that way you guys don't have to try to write everything down, and I'm not going to force the person that edits this, Sweet Ella, to write all this crap down either. So I'll just do it. That being said, all right, so what about Sunday? What did I like on Sunday? Jacksonville was my favorite play, and as I always say, that's like a vomit play. Nobody wants to click that button. But as I tried to tell people, when you look at the Jags, they're 3-1 at home. 3-2 overall, but one of those games was in London, so I'm throwing it out. And they got their ass kicked by the Rams there. 3-1 overall with a win over the Chiefs. Their one loss was to Seattle. And Seattle just kind of, a lot of mistakes by Jacksonville's offense. So I think, you know, when you look at it, now you have a Chargers team that nobody believed in against the Steelers. Then they beat the Steelers. Now all of a sudden the Chargers are good again. And now they got to go play a 1 o'clock game on the East Coast against a Jacksonville team that just lost 2 horrific games in a row. And mainly their own fault. And I'm sure Liam Cohen's getting frustrated. But I think he's going to have something devised for this defense. I think they're going to get after Herbert. Even though the Jacksonville doesn't have a great pass rush, I still think that they'll devise some stuff and get after him. I just think the Chargers are going to look sloppy. I hope we don't get what we got. I'm trying to remember, which way did that go in the playoffs when these two teams played? Did the Chargers come all the way back and win, or did Jacksonville? I think Jacksonville did. But anyway, I think looking at this matchup, I like Jacksonville not only to win outright, but obviously to cover that 3. The other games I was on, I like the Eagles in Sunday Night Football. I like the Steelers against the Bengals. I like the Cardinals plus the points, and I like the over there with the 49ers game. I had the Browns against the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Seahawks. I did like the Giants, and the more and more I looked at it, I went with the Commanders and Dolphins under. Look, it's a 9:30 game. Wanted something to watch. It's as I'm recording this stuff's going on right now, so, or at least it's I don't know if it's midway through it or what, but trying to get everything done before we get the NFL day, and I got all my radio hits and stuff to do. So that's what I had. I like the Clippers in Boston to go under, Vegas and the Wild to go over, and then I was on Western Michigan, South Dakota over, and Houston and Auburn to go under, just under 140. I think it was 139.5. So there we go. This will be a shorter podcast just because we have the one game to talk about. Let me do this. Let's get into I didn't even get to talk about, as I got on a rant, the Concrete Inner Circle. If you like making big bets, yesterday was one of the first losing days I had on my Concrete Inner Circle. So it's been a while, like stacking up some W's. It's felt good on there. So if you guys want to make big bets, you want to find out what I like the most, you can definitely text Inner Circle to the number that you saw there. And that will help you out as far as learning more about this and see if it's right for you. If it's not right for you, appreciate you guys watching this. Appreciate the guys that go on to the premium side. But definitely love doing this. So hopefully you gain something from it, maybe even on the days that I suck, because those are going to happen. Friday was amazing. Saturday was just a kick in the pills. All right, let's do this. Let's get into these games. Oh, I might as well just say this. I do a lot of anytime touchdowns, pretty successful with it. Try not to get the guys that are all, like anytime you're picking Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, it's always going to be priced up. But I like Justin Jefferson, Jalen Warren, Trey McBride, James Cook, and JSN this week to score. And I think, what was I looking at? Oh, I'll get to it when I get to the Monday Night Football game, the touchdown equity between the running backs and where they stand. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about, real quick, the NBA. We get the Bucks and Cavs. Should be a fun matchup, a rematch of the Knicks and Heat. We just had that. Heat, I liked them in that game. They were getting 5.5. They were covering the whole time, and then the Knicks pulled away. Bulls and Nuggets should be another fun one. The Bulls play fast, the Nuggets play fast. So we'll have to see what the totals look like tomorrow. I think they're slowly starting to adjust in the NBA to the fast-paced play, but we still haven't seen them fully adjust because the teams haven't been scoring, in my opinion, the way that we're usually accustomed to them scoring. And it seems like some of the teams are starting to figure it out. Like, I think Orlando is another team that, we expected them to be good defensively, and then they haven't been the beginning of the year. I think we're starting to slowly see some of these teams figure out, got to get hiccups again, their rotation and everything else to go along with it. All right, let's dive into this. Dallas at Las Vegas. Cowboys are favored by 3.5. 49.5 is the total. I'm going to tell you my lean in this game is going to be on the under. I will have some prop plays written up, things that I like for this game, and I'll post those for free with the play, and I'll talk about them on the morning show tomorrow. Full disclosure, I want to rerun this in the morning and just make sure everything's mapping up to give out some plays. I know I've done it before, but with this game, I'm waiting for something. Like, this is one of those matchups where I am going to lean towards the under, and it's not like I trust either one of these defenses. Dallas's offenses look better. Raiders at home on Monday night. If you can't get up for that, what game are you going to get up for? It's an ugly game. It really is between two teams that Dallas is hoping to make their run to the postseason, but I don't know that they will. And then Las Vegas is just trash right now. Good old Ellen DeGeneres coaching the Raiders. Pom Pete chewing on his bubble gum. Yeah, doing his little thing. He annoys the shit out of me. I hate Pete Carroll. My co-host loves him, and anytime he brings him up, I just trash him because that son-bitch got out of USC before all the sanctions came down. Reggie Bush is giving back his Heisman. Meanwhile, allegedly, Pete Carroll is putting $25,000 underneath a baseball cap for somebody. Hey, you want to come to USC? Hey, what about this? What about that? There are all kinds of shadiness going on. I talked to an NFL running back, a prominent NFL running back that went to a big time school, but he was being recruited by the SEC. And he told me about an SEC school. He showed up for the visit. He was hurt because he got hurt his senior year of high school. Shows up to the visit to this school. All these beautiful women come up to meet him, to recruit him, bringing him around, giving him a tour of the campus, because the ladies know the campus better than anybody else. Why wouldn't you hire the prettiest girls on campus to take these recruits around? I get it. It's gamesmanship. But then the point of some other stuff that went on, he told me he went in, had a baseball cap for this SC team with $25,000 sitting underneath it. And I'm looking at him, he goes, and I said, you didn't go to that school. And he goes, yeah, but what were they going to do? Turn me in? So he kept it. And I think that's the same thing that happened with like Eric Dickerson with, what was it, when he was looking at all the different schools between SMU and A&M. I want to say, was it A&M that gave him like a Thunderbird? And they put it in his grandmother's name? He just kept it. It was like, thanks. It was a gift. It's so funny, man, the way that some of this stuff works out. It was a painting. It was a gift. I'm keeping it, Todd. Sorry, that's Wedding Crashers. All right, let's look at this game because I want to run through these prop plays, and then again, I'll be back in the morning to post all this stuff. But my play, and I am going to be on this, my freemium is going to be on the under in the Cowboys game. But let me run through some of these prop bets here real quick and what we have. Dak Prescott, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 14 rush yards. Geno Smith, 268 passing yards, 1.58 touchdowns, 13 rush yards. And again, these are averages. That's why you're seeing the decimal point. Ashton Genty, 76 rushing yards, 3.6 receptions, 28 receiving yards. Javonte Williams, 79 rush yards, 3.1 receptions, 18 yards. Now, the one thing I want to point out is, and I guess it makes sense with the season he's having and the team he's on, but Javonte Williams has a little bit higher. I mean, he's 0.86 to score a touchdown, and Ashton is 0.71. But when you get, like, if I see a guy right around 1, I'm betting him to score the touchdown. And then there are times, like, the guys that you'll see over that 1 are typically Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. Let's say a running back's in just a cherry spot. Let's say it's a team he played before and he scored 3 touchdowns. I'm sure his touchdown equity is going to be juiced up, and that's all that is. But if you were going to bet an anytime touchdown, I think those are 2 of the best ones. I think I would lean Brock Bowers, too. If he's getting healthier, they're going to start peppering him. And I like the idea of him getting in, but we'll get to that. CeeDee Lamb, 6.7 receptions for 80 yards. Pickens, 4.9 for 72. Ferguson, 5.9 receptions for 57 yards. Kind of showing you like the target share of where they expect these guys to get catches. Like Ferguson's more the underneath to intermediate. And then you look at the other guys, they can be underneath the intermediate, still catch that ball and take it for a long play. Like I was talking about, I like TCU to upset BYU. I should stop saying that because of how bad it looked. But I kept saying Aaron McAllister's going to go off. I don't think BYU has an answer for him. Well, he only had 4 catches, but he had 100 and some yards. So, and I think, what was it, Hoover, the quarterback for TCU, what did he throw for, like $170? Aaron McAllister had like almost all of his yards. All right, Brock Bowers, 7.1 receptions for 84 yards. They just pepper him with the football. Trey Tucker, 4.4 for 57, and Tyler Lockett, 4 for 45. Again, I will come back in the morning, post all these so you guys can go over it. Hopefully, I think, what did I say? My top 5 today in the NFL was Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, the Cardinals, and I had, who was the other one I had? Oh, and the Chiefs. And then I really like that Vegas and Minnesota over in the NHL. So, guys, appreciate you checking this out. I hope you win some cash. I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast. Again, all this week, I'll try to sprinkle in some stuff when we have lighter nights with NFL and college football that's coming up over the weekend. We do have some really big matchups this week, and some of the games we talked about as being look-aheads. Georgia Tech almost coughed that one up. They hold on. Now they get Georgia. BYU gets ahead to Cincinnati for a huge matchup. Who else? I mean, there's a bunch of them this week. And with Alabama losing, I thought Texas was going to be the one to really kind of mess up this playoff format. And now with Alabama losing, what does that do? What does it do for Oklahoma? And then on top of it, as you start to look at some of these other schools, who's going to sneak in? Who's getting out? Like there's a who's who of teams up at the top, and I think we're going to have a lot of tiebreakers to decide who's going. And it's probably going to be more important to lose early than it is to lose late, which is just so stupid. But with all that being said, guys, I'm going to go dive into some daily fantasy stuff, get ready for the rest of these football games. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.